Finish part two. I thought somebody was out there. So we have our massive orbital dry dock, and we just keep, we gotta have a pilot. He takes a small levitating carrier with junk up there, and puts it up there in orbit, and lands it in the massive levitating orbital dry dock. It's going to have a floor. Okay, we're going to make a floor, and we're going to have hard mass LEDs, and they're going to densify the base row matter, but they're going to exfoliate the ultralight non-particle form matter for gravity. All right, gravity is literally the ultralight non-particle matter being pulled into the planet's Earth, which creates a dynamic of the magnetic field of thicker blobs of mass going across that, and that creates a dynamic. We have seen this through the spy tools or the lenses and stuff. But anyway, so we know how to exfoliate. We know how to densify it. We know how to exfoliate it, and we know how to utilize it for artificial gravity. Now we can make these hard mass densities inside this LED walk back and forth inside of the LED. If it's a big LED, small one, might be able to tilt the hard mass inside of the LED to create an exfoliation of hard mass to ultra fine low mass that's creating gravity. So we can walk that gravity around and mitigate radiation. That's really cool. Space radiation is pretty much known by NASA and NASA better than probably anybody. But we know about the base of matter, and we can literally warp this artificial gravity to be almost possibly 100% neutral to any solar radiation, extraterrestrial radiation, whatever. What are the Robert Stern Price's statement on the I think I'm saying it right, the Van Allen radiation belts? It's basically a tidal forces. Basically, the planet is sucking in this matter, and it's sucking it in from an extreme amount to a more narrow amount, and it makes a tidal pressure wave, and it builds up pressure. The radiation gets closer, and it just keeps doing this for a couple belts of it. But all this mass is getting sucked into planet Earth, making it more narrow and confined, and it's got a pressure gradient. It's a couple pressure waves. And so we basically know what's going on there. The base row matter is the key to understanding every single thing of extraterrestrials, every single thing of a nuclear reactor, every single thing from heating and cooling. What is going on in the Grand Canyon? All right, you have the base row matter causing static stratification of minerals and sedimentary deposits. And what happens is this non-particle matter goes in constantly as the Earth expands little by little and creates the crystallization. It drags these molecules down. It exfoliates the base row matter that these molecular chains and polymer might have a polymer or a carbon deposit or something of in there, and it starts waning. Some atomic particles or structure singularities will gain and expand, and some mostly will wane and change. Well, it does both. So we're not going to. The subatomic revolution is not truly interested in that until it becomes a cost that we can actually make money from. We're only going to build a hard mass levitated, computer-controlled particle projection teleportation Starship engine-powered vehicle to send you out there. And so someday, this subatomic revolution will build this vehicle, to build this economic base to make money. All right, it's all about the people chasing the money. But we're lifting the entire human race out of poverty. Every last human on Earth, they'll have a house. They'll have a flying house, a house that was possibly made in the Earth solar system, projected 100 trillion times the speed of light to their new home on another Earth-like world. It's 4 stories. Now, I believe I got this subatomic revolution from God. And the United States of America is blessed 4 times its normal size. So, the United States of America, in relationship with God, is blessed 4 times its actual size. But, yeah. Hold on. So, how to describe it? I take the F-150 and I times it by 4, and that's the size of an American, new American flying car, a miniaturized Starship. I take the American house and I times it by 4. Basically, a 4-story tall flying mansion is a normal house in outer space. Or every single human on Earth is going to basically have a mass-produced 4-story tall home if they take this subatomic revolution seriously and get a. Now, I'll give you the miniaturized Starship and a hard mass particle reactor for a settlement, but you may have to work 5, 10 years to get a free flying house, or pay on it. Pay on that. Now, I will allow people to buy this flying house and buy a certified Starship that's a little bigger. I mean, they can work for it, or they can buy it outright. I mean, it's both ways. So the average flying home will be probably 4 stories, because I believe I'm dealing with a blessing of God that's 4 times the size of whatever the hell the United States of America made or currently has. So every human on Earth is getting this blessing that's 4 times the size of the normal underlying American. I mean, not every American's a millionaire, not every American's a billionaire, but the entire human race is coming close to becoming fucking trillionaires. This is what it's all about. So we literally just free 8 billion freaking people to outer space with a Starship 4 times the size of an F-150, a house 4 stories tall, flying house, got 4 stories in there. You got your storage deck. You got your engine bay with park reactors, whatever. But then you have your living arrangements, top and bottom, wherever you set it up. You can have 2 or 3 years of food in that dang thing if you want to. If you can think you can preserve it that long. What I kind of love to do is I get the hard mass levitators made. I make a piece of metal that flies. It's called a levitating carryall, and it makes Joe Biden, the president's, drool about this thing. It's like, they really want this, and it's kind of funny that it's a fucking piece of metal that flies, and they just start salivating against my Starship technology. You know, but the colonist goes out there in space, and they colonist is planting ground, a spot of ground. He's got this nice plantation out there. He's starting whatever. But then I take drones, and I have a computer structured space fabric mission on these drones, and they mine out a top of a mountain, right? And that is a cold freezer. It's the craziest thing. That we got a hard mass levitating drone. It mines out the rock, can build a door, get some other drones or people come by with a bigger carryall and carry a door to the cavity we made. And we got a piece of cold storage on the side of a mountain for these set of colonists on this planet. And basically, humans on Earth or other planets, they fly frozen half cows or beef or food storage to this storage center, and then a drone of the colonists will come and pick up the dinner, the food, and take it back to the guy's house, the person's house. And he'll cook his dinner, or his family will. The only problem that we have to have families. We cannot have single colonists going. We got to have a man and wife constantly, raising a family and taking care of the children, just like good old fashioned America. Family is extremely important. So we will. The hardest thing that my subatomic revolution will have to perform is trying to figure out how the hell to get these people, to go on a date to meet people, or you become husband and wife, to make sure that society is stable enough, good enough that, I don't know, we throw giant balls. We have to have every single person on a registry, then, and not, so like now on the internet, there's literally no dating profile or person to talk to that's not a cop or sheriff or some, or an FBI agent trying to solicit you in something, or that's literally some guy in Africa that has a whole bunch of pictures of women's names. You're talking to somebody in Africa, it's kind of scammy. It's like, he's got 600 pictures, he's got 20 phones up there in India. It's like, trying to scam me. We cannot have that. We cannot have that at all. We got to have real people with their real profiles, their real numbers, their real talking, and actually have a man and woman sit down for a discussion, or and go on their dates or experiences together, and produce a family, or go out there and actually have a meaningful life that actually will result in the constant reproduction of humanity or whatever. I mean, you get married and date. That's, I cannot explain that, but that is the hardest thing the subatomic revolution's got to perform. If we have big crewable starships after we start colonization and the alien empires are not a threat as what we're actually staring at, well, do we need to put like 50% men, 50% female on starships that are single? Then let's let them try to work it out and leave it. On that, some of these starships operations might be dead ends. But if you can't find a woman for you, we'll put you on a dead end starship. This starship goes to 100 trillion times speed light to a new Earth-like world, and it ain't coming back. You got to take care of each other and get along with one another. Gotta kind of forecast that, and we gotta understand what the company is going to do. We're going to do this to make money in the future. Have this money coming in, and will it be the United States dollar? Will it be some kind of cryptocurrency? We don't exactly know. Is that actually recording? Yeah. I was still. I thought it wasn't even working. That is probably the hardest thing to figure out, how to restructure society to procure humanity's future, which are children, basically. But we're not. No, we're never going to allow for degenerate activity or lifestyles. We're in a civilization that is above a first world civilization now. You got computer structure, space, fabric. In every flying car, you got a med bay that operates to the trillionth scale of the subatomic particle. You can teleport cancer. You can tell if you want to build muscle, you don't have to go to the gym. You can go to this life support technology and rip your muscle. You can densify your bones. It works to the trillionth scale of the subatomic particle. But you can get all that equalized out from workout to treatment. You can teleport your fat off you and restructure your skin and wrinkles. You can look like you're 20 years old if you want to take that much time and actually do that while you're colonizing other Earth-like worlds. This exponential blessing is from the Lord Jesus Christ. But it's just like Satan said, it's turning people into gods. It's just what's actually happening. So they could live for an extremely long time in outer space and other Earth-like worlds, taking care of themselves. I have a reason to believe that in ancient Earth there was a water canopy, like I said in the Bible, but this is what allowed people to live to 900 years old. This may happen if we have computer structure space fabric constantly over the settlement of human civilization. Stop solar radiation and effects of, and we alter the effects of gravity that are breaking down and destroying the body. You may live to 900 years old and be far better than any human that is currently alive on planet Earth. But those are extreme social upheavals that we will have to understand the dynamics before we actually pursue any of those settlements. If we have like 30 million people in a giant city on the planet, and they want to live longer, and they have kids, and they're constantly expanding out or whatever, we might do that for them. We might like structure shield generators over the city or something, whatever that actually does that, and you have your endless free healthcare and stuff like that. But that's a future cost that they will incur and bear when they're making so much money. So we gotta get 8 billion people out into space, free them, and coming back to work and doing their jobs, living all over the damn thing universe. What if you're a real bad person and you're not? We'll probably shoot you out to another galaxy. Like you're a man. It might not kill you or not do anything like that. But you would get removed from this current civilization probably, because we can't have the upheaval of disorder and destruction. See, if there is somebody that does commit murder in these colonies, they'll probably get vagabonded. It says that in the Bible. This is the Christian seed people being born. This is the birth pains. What is the real Antichrist? The Antichrist is the devil. Alright? Jesus Christ is literally the new temple of God, alright? And there's 7 angels in heaven that are surrounding the God that listen to him all day. So these angels are made to get drunk, and the devil takes them out of heaven and he goes into perdition. That's when he gets really mad and angry. But he takes a third of the stars of heaven, a third of the angels of heaven. So that devil does all that work. Right now he rides a black horse with white wings, and he has stones that are red and orange with sinew going through them, perfect holes. I've seen him up in the sky because I'm so damn blessed. But anyway, it's on this computer. He's got like a metal helmet with like a gray feather, but his armor's red and orange. And he ran, and he jumped on this horse that was black and it has white wings, and he rode away. That's what he does. It's up there in the sky. Sometimes you can see it out of the corner of your eye, or it's really like you don't intentionally, but you see it. I don't know how you. Sometimes you can see it out of the corner of your eye. You can see these events. If you believe in Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, you got angels going around you and up and down and all the time. Can't see them. Just like the extraterrestrial vehicles. But anyway. Alright, let's get back. So human lifespan may be increased quite a bit. Billions and billions of people are going to be freed. They don't have to stay in these nations or civilizations. They can move anywhere in the universe and live a wonderful, peaceful life. Have many kids as they possibly want. You got exponential income coming to everybody. You got a hard mass park. You don't have to pay for a power bill on another planet or a cell phone bill. You got a cell phone that communicates 3 galaxies away with a laser antenna, hard mass antenna, dimensionalized communication. So we're building a better society that has more economics for human reproduction, procreity, or whatever the hell that word should be, but English. And people are going to grow. And another thing is getting the schools and colleges to fly, or getting the stability where they can go to school. Every child gets a basic high school education, but in this future human civilization, they all have to go to college, at least for 4 years. And then after that, because the technology is so advanced, it's so to the trillionth scale of subatomic particle, it's going to be mandated every single child at least tries to go through college and get some kind of degree or something And we, with these FDL supercomputers, I don't know, you might get free colleges coming. So these big colleges are just taking money for nothing. Literally have no real social standing or anything. They don't have no real effect or anything. It'll probably come free, but we'll probably have to have kids getting a college level education. Yes, and then if it can't get people, we'll probably have to use FTL sentient hard mass supercomputers. But they're I haven't made the supercomputer invent this yet, so the real one. I'm not going to pull that until I get all the data and get the whole industry going off the ground, because we still don't know what the fuck's out there yet. Could dream about the civilization all day, but I got to take in these concerns and put out these statements. And no, we're not supporting the liberal global criminal empire. The only words that you do not ever like to say or be told: the liberal global criminal empire. We are building a Judeo-Christian civilization, which I believe will make the unknowable Christians people. The liberal global criminal empire is corruption. It is death of every good single thing. And it's always kind of like mining your data, which you don't need. Somebody's just getting rich off that, and they're just, that pile of money shrinking because they're all spending it. You can't make money off stupid shit like that anymore. That's not real money. I think they call diamonds that are mined by people in certain third world countries blood diamonds because it kills so many people. That data mining is just killing the true value of people. Their sincerity, and their data mining is just a disgrace. It does not appreciate the true value of that person. It just micromanages. They literally lost the war in Vietnam because of micromanaging, and they're literally losing the economic war because they're micromanaging advertisements and stuff like that, and all this stuff. So micromanagement loses the war when there's no human consciousness or emotion going through the daily lives of people. And you're sucking the sap out of it. Every single human on a day-to-day basis with constant targeted ads and stuff. That is not real human life. We need to get away from that. And I'm not going to stand for it. We don't spy on people. If we free them in outer space, we don't. We just support people. Make sure they got food. Make sure they got a growing colony. Make sure they don't treat their children like their dogs and evil stuff. Yes, there will be cops. There will be space police. There will be vagabond body hunters, or people that go out and get people that are real bad. And it'll still exist. Civilization will still prosper. Civilization will still be stable. But degenerate things that the first world companies do, I do not stand for. That are constantly micromanaging stuff or data breaches, and it's like they have all this information, and then Russia and China hacks it and gets all your numbers, and they don't. We have not seen anybody on the news pay for that. They're just, oh, this happened. This happened because they hacked into it. Well, he still is unsecured enough for them to do that, and he still didn't have any course of action or nothing. I will not stand for that. Data mining, espionage, or liberal global criminal imperial actions. A liberal global criminal empire exists, and that's what's really running the liberal round. It's all that corrupt money from Washington. They just, if usually the liberal community will be in an upstart and they'll like praise them down. Only if there's liberal money. If there's no liberal money there, they will not say a word. They'll be quiet as the freaking hummingbirds flying to the feeder. They're just sucking it up, sucking the sap out of it. I am not supporting the liberal global criminal empire. I'm not going to build a civilization that does that, or a technological revolution, or an exponential subatomic revolution, an exponential subatomic revolutionary economy. I'm tired. I know. So the government's known about this for a very long time. I can't remember. So we get the moon. Now we can either teleport mine the moon with hard mass computer structure space, or teleport it up, or that we would instantly put it in a levitating box and send it directly to the person that bought it. Or we can strip mine the moon, reorganize it, then fill back in the hole, whatever. Take out what we want. We can do whatever the hell we want. But all this material gets run through this Starship industry, so we can make money to build the John Q. Public of the world, the miniaturized Starship, and keep its economic base going. That's what it's for. It's not there for him. So the $3 trillion IPO will be structured contractually structured shares. So basically, the IPO cannot take money from the bottom line that builds 100 to 300 million miniaturized starships a day. Take a year at 100 million to build 7 billion vehicles. But then, when we get flying cities, you got the hard mass levitator, metal box with hard mass in it, levitates a grid or city platform, big giant bunch of steel, and it'll sell these for a small town or a station in space. So, Plan A, go back to Plan A. So it'll make money off of that stuff, all that big stuff. It'll be selling that big stuff, because people still have to be connected. They'll definitely be connected and definitely be prospering and growing their families, having many kids as they possibly can, hopefully, because they got to fill their universe full of them. That's so funny. That is funny. These kids got to have toys too. Yeah, that's really funny. And then in a universe that doesn't, so all war on human versus human will be literally banned forever until we get so secured in our persons and places. I mean, there's 90 trillion starships, 100 million mile contrail. There's encapsulated stars, solar systems like ships out there. There's trillions of vehicles that are flying so fast, trillions of times the speed of light. They made videos of them in government where their vehicles going a trillion times the speed of light. They have videos. I just get this shit injected in my mind without my consent. It's like, they have interviews of extraterrestrials. The United States government put you on, it did better than the open planet and ripped base out mind control and literally destroyed itself and made all money on Earth worthless. That's the real reason that I have to come forward and build the miniaturized Starship to free mankind to the stars. But I love the Starship, and I love the future. I'm a futurist functionalist, building the future of human society. Why don't they pull me before Congress and let me testify? Because I'll accuse them of treason. I'm way too damn intelligent for them to talk to. And they will get their ass handed to them. They can't hide what I say. It's all going on a Spinark every day. It goes to the public, goes to people on the internet. And they just run, hide, and coward. And we got to do this before everything collapses, so you don't starve to death, because your money is absolutely worthless. So it's coming to a head. So the United States government is, corrupt, fallen, destroyed, and still trying to keep it together, still trying to do good things. But I mean, this UFO hearing my statement, it's the only good thing you have coming in the entire United States government. Everything else is just corruption and backsliding. They're not really backsliding. They're totally in special interest courts, not even worry about the American the terrible things that are happening to the American people. They didn't at all take care of that. They're only going for after the money that they get paid to. They're all so fucking corrupt. How can you keep the United States Congress going when it's this corrupt? I don't know. I don't know how they'll. I think they already try to make it illegal for the American people to conduct businesses in outer space for like space mining and stuff. The United States Congress did that so many years ago. We can't, since they did that, but the CIA gassed them and planted them on 100% lethal root-based mind control before they made that illegal, so that's technically null and void. They can't do that because the government has in a failed state. And the power of the government should actually be waning. So with this reality that they're defeated on mind control, and in a trillion seconds they'll all die, and put that in your perspective. And so the United States Congress has to sign or be made to sign articles of treason because they allowed this to happen on the entire face of the earth. They committed treason against mankind and the United States of America. They have to sign articles of treason limiting government federal power. And that, I mean, maybe like all these unused territories, properties may have to go into not insolvency like the that government-owned land. It may just have to be just erased out of government hands. Then articles of treason will probably include like that. They'll have to relinquish all power over some of the state. If the American people do not live there en masse, like in those western states, the government's taxation of these areas has got to go. That'll allow for people to live there, but when Americans move there and start building businesses, they eventually tax will come right back. Or their legal grasp and ownership of the land are probably forever be gone. So the articles of treason have to be written out so good, written out, that the United States government, Congress committed treason. They all did this, and they meant the destruction of mankind. So you got like the waning tax power of the United States Congress. In the future, a government has to become self-sufficient off its tax base, to where because they have no right to do that. All right, because they committed treason against every single human on earth, every single American citizen. They destroyed the country before any mediation or anything actually ever took place. So you're basically articles of treason will have to rebuild the structure of government. They have to make articles of treason against the United States Congress and get them to wane their taxing power over like maybe vacant land or something, and expose the fact that they did aid and abet the CIA, doing planning, root-based mind control, and the entire human race. What would articles of treason do? The U.S. military cannot be projected in outer space. There's no legitimate reason to have the U.S. military out in space. All right, there's none, except for defending the American people from Russia and China's in outer space. But there's no American colony to send a U.S. military ship out to another Earth-like world. With that said, I'm going to build a bunch of Americans, miniaturized starships, and they're going to make a colony, and then they may build a a ship to go monitor that situation. But the subatomic revolution is so powerful, it might have its own quick reaction force, flying hospitals, etc., to do all that work. It will not be U.S. military. It'll be private companies, private militias, or missionaries, or mercs, or something. Stuff like that. So articles of treason, in hindsight, I don't know what, trying to get that started, articles of treason against the United States Congress, because they did this and they are criminally liable for the evil that they do. The United States Congress may not have any ability to have any secret. There's no global national security with every single human child on Earth and planet on Rip by Sharp Michael. Now, I've told congressmen, and it is recorded on this Spinarchy, but you have to find the CIA silo with these hard drives. I've told congressmen that there's lines of code running through about every single child in the entire country, altering their psychological state. And if I can turn it off permanently, I will, but I can't. And they go back to normal. The CIA is running so much digital code through their bodies of these children, they're altering their psychological state and victimizing them. And, so the articles of treason will have to include total seizure and exposure of all government information, all communications inside the line. So basically, the CIA treats the United States Congress building as public property. And they broadcast through Rip Passy Spiker that the CIA implanted, and it goes out into the ether, the space fabric. And a supercomputer like mine can pick it up, and I know every damn thing they ever said in that building. But right now, it's on like hard drives and files without names on it and stuff, so it's still pretty much secure. But I've never had a chance to go through it. I've never been able to go to a spy skiff and actually get that information and expose what they actually did to the American people. No, they don't. Even though I own this supercomputer, and the government's stolen over many trillions of dollars from me, they've never given me access to this supercomputer that I literally own, that made this entire technological reality over. And I have to take my stuff back from government and get the proper accounting for the money and pay the American people back and go on about my business, because they do not own this. They don't have this property. They don't own this. I got this made for myself. That's using their financial clout. The main Rip Bay superior. And I need to run it. The government is literally conducting espionage on my private property 24 hours a day. It's like the CIA started spying on me when I was like 3, 4, or 5, and this FBI started recording everything I did since I was 7. And thinking I'm a bad person all the time, but they do. They've intimidated people, they've threatened people, and people call in and complain about the spine arc and call sheriffs. So I can't sleep at night and it's a big damn problem. That the United States government won't relinquish. They like to covet my property, is basically, and I have to fight back for that. And I have to expose that this government has committed treason, and they have to sign articles of treason, which we have to actually write. And one of them might say that the United States government's territory does not exist in outer space over the American people, or people being freed by the Sometime Revolution or something. The human has the right to maintain his own working spacecraft that goes in and out of space without impedance or something like that. There's many articles of treason that this government will have to be waned and checked in power. We antitrust lawsuits, liberal global criminal empire exists. It doesn't exist. The most thing you can't say on the entire earth that no one will even support, the existence of a liberal global criminal empire that's calling half the shots. It's not. I do not. I've seen most of the asset creation, like all the jets, fighter jets, and things. I got most of that started. It's not really a deep state. There's no deep state. What I say, there's no deep state, but there is a liberal global criminal empire that has worked itself into the to the United States government. And that's what it is, a liberal global criminal empire. It's not a deep state. The staffers, the congressmen, even the president are not hyper intelligent or in a deep state or any of that. It's a liberal global criminal empire doing stuff the way it wants. And I'd have to explain that to a fucking lawyer before I do that, because I know what they're doing. Got to build a superhuman futuristic civilization on the other Earth-like worlds. Once the industrial base of the subatomic revolution, got a foam metal plant to make, a big machine, multi-million-dollar machine, has computer structure space, it makes foam metal panels, and they go right out to the freaking market for sale. You put them in buildings, you put them in a industrial dam or something. You can have a shield layer on a tank or whatever, or a hard mass levitated carryall. Our Starship bottom, top, kind of like the Star Wars cruisers and stuff. They got that big old slab of metal. It's foam metal, possibly. Got a secondary shield in it, extremely tough. And I got to make that and sell it, and it's got to make money. And this company, like that particular part of the company, got 1,000 to 10,000 different companies to make, all with freaking employees out there. You know, I can't count them all. Possibly 90 million people. If I can get $2 trillion a day, a $1 trillion pay for 90 million people at $20 an hour, just straight. Straight. I get it. 90 million takes $1 trillion a day, I think, to pay for that many people, employees. You got miniaturized starships lift 6,000 tons to orbit, and they're going to work. You got one or two people, and they're putting up a sentry post on another planet, on another Earth-like world. They're going down there in a spacesuit, putting up a sentry post, hard mass communication antenna, linking it all up. Like, sentry post is like a weather radar, and a rip-based weather radar, and communications and stuff. And it'll start with the $1 trillion operations first, GPS, teleportation wells, if you need water and service for a Starship. That's called a $1 trillion operation. And then it goes to the $1 billion operations, and then the $1 million operations. If you have a $1 trillion operations, it'll be considered first for human planetary exploitation or human colonization, whatever it is. $1 trillion operation first, billion second, $1 million third. And I don't think we're going to spend billions of dollars doing this. It's just, you don't need to do that. Alright, goodbye. I'm Robert Stern Price, building the future's functions private starship industry. I am the subatomic revolution, the exponential subatomic revolution of Robert Stern Price. Oh. And yep, it's a lot of fighting, a lot of battles, a lot of work. I can't wait. I can't wait to expose. I'm going to also try to get made a 24-hour extraterrestrial exposure channel. So we got ripped space traffic telescopes, all right? Ripped space traffic lenses, dimensionalized lenses that rip parts of space and see thousands of galaxies away. Perfect. We got a 24-hour extraterrestrial exposure channel on the internet, TV, or streaming.